Good day. I'm David Jeff of Shays Holistics, and I'm so glad you're here. I thought I would do a video that is a continuation of the blog post titled Connection versus Shiny Objects, which we really feel it's important to talk about because spiritual connection for anyone is the key. Of course, it's unique for each of us, but once we have our connection, that connection guides us in all things, and that's what's important. And a lot of spiritual classes, a lot of spiritual activities are wonderful, but they don't help build our connection. So that's what I'm here to talk about. Now at shaysholistics.com, if you go to the meditations, which are typically our monthly meditations, although we're going to start including a lot of other ones, they're focused on connection. Connection with your high self, again, the etheric realm, the angels, the divine, but establishing your connection during the meditation so that you can receive what is right for you. And with that said, I hear a lot of people talk about, oh, this person's spiritually advanced, or they're really advanced. I'm hesitant to use those words because every spiritual path is advanced. We're just at different places, and just because we're at a different place doesn't mean it's less or more advanced. It's just we're at a different place. I once knew a spiritual master. His name was Peter. I could do phenomenal things, and he had a conversation with me one day. He just started talking, and I learned when he's talking I needed to be listening. And he talked about how as people are pursuing their spiritual path, it's like a pyramid. I'm going to bring my hands up. And at the base of the pyramid, when we first start, whatever spiritual path we start, whether that's traditional, Christian, or Buddhist, or Islamic, whatever it is, you start here and you're exploring everything. Everything is new. It's just fantastic. You meet so many people. It's an exciting time. But as we grow, we move up the pyramid and it gets narrower. There's less people doing what we're doing. There is some things that we used to do fall away. And because of that, it becomes, you could say, a narrower and narrower path. Jesus made reference to that. And that's because as we find our true path, 90% of the things that we did when we first started may fall away. And then, of course, they're going to, once we've learned something, then we move on to the next thing. So all paths are advanced because when we make that connection, we are moving at the speed that is right for us. And it can be slow sometimes, and it can be fast. But I can tell you that it's always faster than we think. And back to our meditations, I want to talk a little bit more about this, especially the ones that we do online. They're wonderful, and sometimes we do them live. I think this July we're going to do a live Zoom meditation again, which is really fun to do. But our meditations, again, are focused on connection, but not just any connection. Our intention when we do these, because we do them from centered in our high self, we set the intentions and create the sacred space as we are guided by our higher guidance, so that you form your own spiritual connection, your unique spiritual connection with the etheric realm, with your guides, the angels, the archangels, the light beings, and the countless other beings that frankly don't even have names. We just see them and there they are. As well as the divine, again, our shorthand name for any aspect of God, whatever it is that one relates to. And with that, that brings us to some of our seminars. And I'm usually a little hesitant to talk about them, but what I found out is so many people say, oh, you do seminars? So I said, okay, maybe I should talk about this thing. We do what are called Illuminated Mind seminars. It's based on originally the Jose Silva method. I'm dating myself here a little bit. There was the Power of Alpha Thinking back in the 1970s, and it was that course, but that was mainly a scientific approach. Ours is purely spiritual. My mentor, June, when she took over the course from Jose Silva, who gave her exclusive permission to use it, started really being guided to evolve it. And of course, we've been part of the curriculum too, development. So it's just awesome. But it's really an energetic, these seminars, and there's 3 of them. There's the Illuminated The Illuminated Mind has the first seminar is the Intuitive Mastery. The second one is we call Illumination. And the third one is called Transformation. And each builds on the last. But with that said, even if you've taken let's say the first seminar before, the Intuitive Mastery, when you take it again, your higher guidance, the divine, the etheric realm, the universe will take you from where you are to where you need to be. So it's not like you're repeating, although you'll go through the same meditation cycles. You're going to grow uniquely from wherever you were when you last stopped, your last thing. So they're really an energetic immersion or spiritual immersion. I remember the last seminar we had, and that was before this last year went by, it was in fall, and by Saturday afternoon, everyone was so energetically saturated, they couldn't do another meditation. Our higher guidance, when they have the opportunity, will accelerate every single thing that they've been waiting to do. Especially for those who are new to meditation, their guides have been waiting for years, sometimes decades, to be able to do some of the things that they can do when these seminars have the sacred space and the higher, I call it the cosmic high-speed connection, kind of like a DSL connection, but spiritual, and it is just awesome, and transformation happens. Also, once connected, and as the seminars do it, our meditations do it, but it's just a shorter period. The seminar is over a 3-day period, usually a Friday night, all day Saturday, and most of the day Sunday. By the time you're done, the connection is really robust. Your spiritual connection has been probably accelerated, depending on where you are in your spiritual path, especially if you're new, enormously. Hundreds, more than 100%. You can be hundreds of percents of what you would normally have had. And the beauty of it is, once we have this connection, it's not something we have to consciously think about. Our being is connected, and from there, our guidance will just naturally guide us through the day, especially when we're not thinking about things. All of a sudden, we'll just intuitively, non-consciously I call it, we'll decide to do this instead of that. Or someone asks us, and normally we would say no, but all of a sudden we have this intuition, maybe I should say yes. So people, once you have a connection, make a better decision more often than those who do not have a connection. And although any spiritual teaching is wonderful, and each teaching and each modality has its place, and everything will take, if we're ready for it, it'll call to us, and then it'll be with us for a while, maybe for a long while. But eventually we evolve it, or we move beyond it. And that connection is what will guide you. I refer to it as my spiritual connection that guides me to all other connections. And again, within our seminars, we have people who are Christian, we've had Buddhists, people who are Islamic, some are Baha'i. We had a couple from the Baha'i faith, which is kind of an amalgamation, a belief system, but all types. And people who, we had one who is clearly an atheist, who was only there because his significant other was there, and he was going to make sure that we didn't do anything we weren't supposed to do. And in the end, boy, he soared. Oh, it was just phenomenal. What a spiritual being he was, and he didn't even know it. So, but again, it's unique. That connection happens for everybody. We're spiritual, not religious in our focus, and each person needs to find that path that's right for them. The one that I say God, but the higher, the divine has designed for us before we came as part of our life plan. So, and then we have other things other than meditations. Deborah loves to do chants. So all of our chants, guided meditations and talks, we make it a point again to center ourselves in our high self, which is loosely called our God self. It's our higher aspect of ourself that is connected to the Christ body, to the divine God. And it is, you could say, our illuminated self, which everyone has but this aspect, and it's just a matter of living from it. And of course, we're all on the spiritual path, are seeking to do just that, to live from it each moment of the day. So with that said, I don't want to take more time than that. I just wanted to have a short video. If you want to see the post, you can see this video. If you're watching it on YouTube, if you go to shaysholistics.com, and go to the video section. I have a short narrative on this and a link to the not only the written post if you want to read it. It's a little longer. This is just a quick overview of what we did in the written post. Anyway, blessings, light, and love. So glad you could be here. If you have any questions, please just don't hesitate. Go out to the website, send us an email, and we try to respond relatively promptly. It doesn't always happen the same day, but we do try to respond promptly and answer any questions you might have. Again, blessings and light. Have a wonderful day.